Did I roll yet or not?
He just dumps it in his hand and throws it in my hair.
Welcome to the finals of Grand Prix Atlanta.
myself in the mirror
We have
like 2
Ben
hours
Stark
later.
facing Jason Ford. Ben Stark is on the left of your screen playing red-green Valakut. Jason Ford is on the right of your screen playing a blue-green-red Valakut deck. The players have received each other's deck lists. Both of them are going to have to decipher all the scribbles that each of them have. Jason Ford's deck has quite a few more. Ben Stark, as Matt Sperling was just telling us, made some clearly pretty good last-minute decisions. Cut one of his Prismatic Omens and a main deck Volcanic Fallout for 2 Oracle of Moldiah. Jason Ford, who knows what was going on? He has probably a dozen cards crossed off and added on his list. So, what do you guys think of this matchup? Who do you think has the advantage?
Well, Ben has 5 GB upgrades, 2 PT upgrades, but I don't think that's going to help him very much against decks full of counter magic when the only instant spell he has is Lightning Bolt.
I played this deck so much that it goes both ways.
I
I should have known the best overall deck and not had to do that. On the other hand, I felt confident with just
not that much, but
because I already knew what I'd have to make.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I would put Jason as a small favorite.
I think either side would. I mean, the Vendilion click is problematic.
It's funny.
I just think
I was like, never do good.
things don't start off that great for Bennett and they get worse.
So for those of you who have not been with us for a while, I'm Brian Kibler. I am joined here by Martin Yuza, Paul Rietzel, and Matt Sperling in the GG's live booth. And we're going to be watching the final match of Grand Prix Atlanta. For those of us who sort of came into this tournament, this is not really the finals I think most people were expecting. I think a lot of people, were thinking Fairies was the big deck. Fairies was what we were going to see everywhere.
Jund.
And Fairies, Jund, another deck that has been was a major contender in Standard, ported over to the new extended format. But both of the Fairies players in this top 8, Owen Turtenwald and Ari Lax, fell in the quarterfinals to Red-Green Valakut. Red-Green Valakut has really been the breakout deck of this tournament.
Yeah, it was on everyone's radar, but for Standard, not really for Extended. And now it's kind of made that transition. It's interesting. The Standard decks are so powerful that they feel like they can compete in Extended.
I mean, Valakut as a card, clearly very powerful. Turns all of your lands into ways to kill opponents, combined with Escape Shift. Obviously super powerful. You get to 7 land, you're able to just kill your opponent with mountains. Jason Ford's deck is a bit different from the Standard deck. His deck doesn't really have many mountains at all. It relies on Prismatic Omen to be able to kill his opponent with Valakut or Escape Shift being combination. He has a lot more control elements, as we were just saying. His deck has Cryptic Command, one of the defining cards of the extended format, along with a whole bunch of deck manipulation with Ponder and Preordain. So his plan is really to dig through his deck, try and set up a ton of mana with Oracle of Moldiah, and eventually kill his opponent, Escape Shift, and Prismatic Omen, or just grind them out with just the Omen and Valakut.
I was definitely expecting more than 4 Fauna Shamans and 0 Vengevines in the top 8.
Is that the number? There were 4 Fauna Shamans?
In this...
Oh, in Giddy's deck? Wow, yeah.
And
That's
0
even more fun if you remember.
Fauna Shaman was a card that definitely has been very powerful in Extended. We saw it in both Naya and Jund and a lot of other decks, whether they're in the Underwood Chronic Ooze deck or similar creations.
Sometimes
very powerful with Vengevine, very powerful with Demigod of Revenge, with Venge in it, combos well with Fauna Shaman.
Yeah, there was a number of different decks that could win easily with one-check Fauna Shaman. It's only 2/2, so it's kind of about finding the best shell around it when the Fauna Shaman wasn't active. And Jund certainly works. We tried the Red Green deck.
We don't want to play against it.
Didn't work as well, but
Because we were talking to some people.
I know that coming into this tournament, I wasn't expecting Red Green Valakut at all. I played a green-white creature deck that was very powerful against a lot of the decks that I expected. Huge dog to Red Green.
And same with our deck. Same with the deck that Steve and I worked on that 4 of us played. It was just so bad against Red Green Valakut. We just weren't expecting to play that matchup. I played it twice.
I lost to 2 Red Green Valakut decks. I played against Pat Cox, who's a good friend of Ben Stark's, playing pretty much the same deck. Game 1, Pat Cox made a pretty serious error that cost him the game. Then game 2, he mulliganed to 5 and just destroyed me and won game 3. So despite him punting a game, mulliganing to 5, I lost the matchup.
What's the choice for? Not mine.
Pretty remarkable. The deck is hugely powerful against a lot of the creature decks, which are a lot of the decks people sort of expected. The Naya decks, the Jund decks. They really can't interact well with
We're gonna think you're just buying
just escape shift, it's hard. If you get to 7 land and you have escape shift, they're just dead.
Right. And we watched those who watched the Ben Stark Owen Turnwald matchup. I mean, you've got at least a puncher's chance against Fairies. Even Ben would tell you Fairies is a terrible matchup, but I mean, he had enough to get it done.
Yep. I mean, you definitely have action. You have a great Sable Stag can certainly kill people, and.
Can you talk about cards? He was like 95. I was like, yeah, I was 4.
You know who don't win the die roll? They do the die roll yet?
I don't know.
It's pretty important in this matchup.
It is.
I think this deck was pretty terrible against Owen. Like Ben only won because he ripped the.
Yeah, I think Ben got pretty lucky to beat Owen in the first round. Owen's draw game 1 was pretty awful, and then in game 3 he had basically one draw step to draw a relevant card and drew the best card he could possibly draw to win that match. Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't really the issue. I mean, granted, the tournaments are a lot bigger, but like,
Game 1 he had to get lucky as well. He got his thought seize and click and still had enough action, which is rare.
Right.
And then in game 3 he didn't get thought seize. You know what I mean? He just kind of had it.
He just ripped
that Titan. So you definitely have to get lucky to win that match.
12-3.
But I mean, the deck certainly isn't nearly as bad a matchup against Fairies as many of the creature decks have against it.
So if Ari didn't Dream Crush that guy in the last round, if they drew, then Valenti gets 9
Someone says that they're probably stuck in a room
That's insane.
with shuffling the deck over and over.
Sure.
All right, we have the die roll. That's not very high. I saw 1 on one of those dice. So
Start.
I believe Ben Stark won the die roll.
To start.
I don't know. I thought he did.
Let's looking at his hand first. So
Yeah. And Ben is mulliganing.
Which
So
is unusual. I'll stop now.
Martin Juza, for those who don't know, he is very, very critical of the perceived lack of mulligans on the part of many American pros.
Especially of Ben. But never mulligans.
So those of you at home, just pop in an episode of Law and Order. By the time it's over, Ben will be done shuffling. Get started.
Get some popcorn.
I mean, his sleeves look well loved by this point in the tournament. You know, like.
Almost just like hope you don't mulligan that much because you shuffle so much.
So
I used to seriously
once we
shuffle
actually
more.
get to see
more
his
time
next
than I
hand,
playing. Like when I used to play really fast and like the
Maybe we'll have some
play,
interesting to
he didn't
say.
tell you,
Right now,
shuffle
I'm
for like
just
5
done.
minutes or whatever, and then play a game in a minute or whatever.
Apparently, I'm too far from the mic to be heard. Is this better?
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, we'll move in.
I was in top 10 in most boosters won for the past like week and a half, but I fell off because I've been here all week. So.
What's your username?
Tog time. Tune in on there.
All right, so looks like we actually have another hand from Ben. This one,
Okay.
I see Raging Ravine.
2 land, a cultivate, a Titan.
This hand looks okay. I mean, he needs another land clearly, and if he gets that cultivate mana leak, he's pretty much dead. But ponders and shuffles.
So is there one card we haven't caught a glimpse of yet in Ben's hand? We said 2 land. We said 2 land, cultivate, Titan.
What?
So you Virgin Catacombs, Brutal Titan, cultivate.
But to occupy
It might be an omen. I don't know. There's no known card in Ben's hand. If it's a land, his hand is much better than if it's a spell.
I've since moved on.
He draws a land, so he's in good shape. I can't see if Jason Ford has a mana leak.
It must not be an omen. I imagine that would have come out.
Yeah. Jason Ford exploring. Draws. Oh, he has double Cryptic Command in his hand. Now that's gonna be a lot to fight through.
Is escape shift Valakut?
Yeah, this is kind of what Ben Stark didn't want to happen. He's mulligan. He's not on the play. His opponent has drawn multiple cryptic.
Doesn't a Ram spell?
He isn't. Well, the Explorer. It feels like he's not on the play, right? So he's mulligan on the play. Cultivate resolves. So that's good.
So Ben still can't really do much just yet.
Looks like there's a mana leak in Jason's hand as well. So he's gonna really have to draw a lot of gas just to get through those counter spells.
Yeah.
What's the other line? Okay, Mountain.
He's probably gonna run Jace out here right now, right?
Does he have Jason in his hand?
I don't think if I would play the Explore, like, is Ben gonna keep a hand without a Ram spell and Cultivate, which is like turn 4?
Well, if he has a Jason in his play, he can just cast a Jace this turn. and take up the Jace.
How many Jaces is he playing?
I believe he has 3 Jaces. If he's an Oracle, I'd rather. I want to play an Oracle this turn too.
Well, whatever he has, he's going to play it because it's the
Yeah.
last window to tap out before he's going to have to
One
start
Jace,
keeping
okay.
mana open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he fetched right away. I mean, he's going to play something here.
Yeah.
So we see that's an
It's
Oracle,
an Oracle.
and that's particularly good.
Naturally. There's the Tectonic
Oracle
Edge.
into
Unbelievable.
wow, that is huge. Oracle into the 1 Tectonic Edge in his deck. So
Yikes.
even if that Oracle dies, it's already gotten him huge value.
And draws another.
He chose a Valakut,
Oh, it's Valkyrie.
looks like.
So Ben's in an awkward spot because does he have any
Oh,
more
it
land?
might be a Hara. I think,
Oh, that is a Hara.
I think it's a Texas Hara.
I'm just.
So he needs to cast his Haro this turn. He's going to cast it at all.
No, I mean he's gonna like.
He could try to play with the edge, but it just, I mean, that's just
Yeah,
doesn't seem
I mean
right.
that's potentially a losing game. I mean, he could give his opponent the opportunity to make a mistake.
Right.
You
To be able to edge with
from this
Cryptic.
position, it's possible that that's actually what he really would want to do.
Yeah, but the problem is you're just gonna go land, edge it, and then cryptic the. You know, if you try to
Yeah.
harrow, it's not gonna work. So he's gonna harrow right away. Does he have a follow-up play here? I think his hand's Titan, another land, a verdant catacomb.
Here's a Valakut. No, he just play the Valakut. He does not have an answer to that Oracle. So
No, and this is if you're banned, you have to be hoping. Oh, I hope he doesn't have a cryptic command. I hope he doesn't have a mana leak. Unfortunately,
He has
Jason has
everything.
3. Yeah.
so that Flooded Grove. I mean, unless he's like killing him this turn, he clearly plays that Flooded Grove off the top. If he has Omen Valakut, Omen Scapeshift, the game's just over.
Yeah, it's a slow roll. I don't think he has either.
Yeah, I don't see either. So what's he doing?
Yeah, what is he doing? What's going on?
He's exploring Furious Blade.
Why play your land? What are you
it's
doing?
Omen?
Oh,
Oh,
Omen. Okay.
Oh, he doesn't.
Okay.
For you. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right. That makes sense. So,
He has a escape shift too.
I don't think so.
I think his hand's cryptic.
But I mean, he has Cryptic and double Valakut now. Like, I mean, this game is
Yeah.
effectively over.
Why didn't he attack?
Yeah, I like an attack there.
I'd probably get him by 2 damage.
14. My handwriting is horrible.
This does defend against any 1/1 haste creature.
If a Gaia's Revenge comes down on the other side of the table.
Yeah, Guy's Revenge and Thunder
can
Blast,
chump.
they're not going to work now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But there's no sequence of draws here for Ben, right? I mean, he could draw Escape Shift for the rest of the game, and he's just going to get countered.
Yeah. There's no wrenches like Summoning Trap or Nature's Claim that can be thrown into it. Here.
Against that Oracle Omen, there's a second Valakut on top of that deck. He's basically just dead, and that's getting Cryptic.
Yeah. His only chance was to hope that resolves somehow.
I mean, it's not even clear he'd win if that resolved. It's the really ridiculous thing. Like, he's already just so
True.
far behind.
They would just die to the Valakut.
So play Valakut,
6U. Yep, 6U.
6U. Attack you. There you go.
You should take care of that 4.
And he remembered to attack with Oracle, but not when it was for Xaxes. All right. Well, Jason 4 takes the first game.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was, and that really showed, how powerful the counter magic is in this matchup. There are individual key cards that each deck needs to resolve, and Jason's able to stop them. And Ben
Well,
cannot.
I mean, before we go too far, I mean, both decks have Explorer and Oracle, and it's just like, I mean, his draw was just better. I mean,
It's true. It's true.
That could have been the mirror match, and he would have been way ahead.
That's also the
Right.
game we expected him to win.
Yeah, I mean, we
yeah.
certainly thought that Jason Ford had a big edge game 1.
Yeah.
So, how do you think the sideboarding goes?
Well, certainly Ben's going to want his Nature's Claim. Doesn't.
He
So-
has very
Bringing
different
the
opinions.
cost food.
Right.
I
Makes
don't like
sense.
his opinions, though.
That's about it, right?
Yeah.
Everything.
Jason's going to be
every
bringing
specific
2
thing he's told me
Vendilion
about this
Click,
deck has been
1
wrong.
Tectonic Edge.
Like every like
This
little
has
like
been the Sieve
nitpicky
sideboard
thing
at
he's
15
told me
Spell Pierce.
Yeah, the 1 Spell
Command,
Pierce.
Mana Leak, into the Royal.
I don't doubt it.
Is Primal Command good?
I think a
think
lot of
so.
it has to do with.
It seems hard to tap 5
Right.
in a lot of spots.
No, I agree. You don't want the Primal Command, though. You don't really have anything other than Oracle to get to.
Yeah,
Like, the Primal Commands seem like they're against creature decks, so you can go, like, gain 7, get Worm Coil or whatever.
right.
Certainly going to take out Fire Spout.
Yeah, Fire Spout out.
What do you think
Will he
these
board
next
out
weakest
Jace?
cards are?
Someone make it for me.
No.
He's only got 1 Jace main.
Would it be crazy to board out Oracle and try to strand his bolts?
I think on the draw you take out Jace because it's too much of a tap out card. You might even, I mean, you could maybe trim an Oracle. I don't know. Oracle's kind of good though because both decks are gonna be boarding out the creature removal. So you probably get, Jason's got to take something out. What else is he gonna cut? I guess you can trim. You know, you can always trim Ponder, but I don't know if that's advisable. He's bringing in 1 Mana Leak, 1 Spell Pierce, 1 Tectonic Edge, which you can just sub a land out,
And probably 2
and 2 clicks. So you're looking like 5 cards.
So Fire Spout clearly comes out, and then it gets complicated.
I think a Fire Spout, a Jace on the draw. I'd say that's that's gonna come out.
He can board like 1 Scape Shift though.
Yeah.
His Scape Shifts definitely get worse because there's the threat of the Prevent Omen dying. So I mean, he can also very easily win without Scape Shift, pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you saw that game, certainly didn't need Scape Shift.
And because Ben has no ways to counter the Scape Shift, and 2 might be enough to be able to dig for them. I think you could trim 1 Scape Shift, maybe 2. But everything else is pretty good. Maybe you can maybe cut 1 land on the draw.
That match seems a little more exciting.
Yeah.
Probably that's in the PTP top 8, isn't it?
It's like I play poker a lot at the local casino, right? I'll be playing like 2, 5, or 5, 10 will be all into like 4 or 5 grand.
When you're running hot,
Meanwhile,
which obviously
across the room,
Jason is,
like
I don't think you ever cast an
going
Oracle
nuts
and
because
flip
somebody
over a
hits,
spell.
like,
It's just always a land.
And like, the people
Usually
at my table
Tectonic
are
Edge, the signature,
yeah,
by the way.
that's why they're playing for that much and stuff. They're scooping a pot in for like 3,500.
They're just used to it.
Oh my god! Like, we look over, collecting a few whites, stacking up their $12 pots they won.
You play mostly live then? Or
Yeah.
Is that your profession, if you will?
Yeah.
You've been doing that for a long time?
Yeah. When I started
As we
doing
wait
it
for
because
Ben
a lot of
Stark to
people
go
on
through
Pro Tour
his
were doing it back in,
ritual
like,
of
203.
shuffling once more.
And then I quit the Pro Tour because I wanted to dedicate time to it.
The shuffling to playing time ratio is about 4 to 1 so far.
It really has been.
He likes to talk and shuffle. Oh yeah.
He's very chatty.
I heard it used to be easy.
So we just assume that Ben's taking out three
Drafts
lightning
was
bolts
last, but it just used to be right. It used to be like not
and leaving 1 bolt in case
Right.
an Oracle needs to be
He can
killed.
cut like a rampant growth.
Party poker or paradise poker. Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I mean you could, but bolt is there just to deal with.
Right, that's the sub game, right? If Jason thinks that Ben's going to leave his bolts, then he might want to take out Oracles as part of the card that he shaves because they're pretty weak if he's able to just bolt it and continue with his game sort of unmolested. But if he leaves, takes the bolts out, then obviously Oracle becomes very good.
Yeah,
you can see a game like Game 1.
I would predict that Ben takes out 3 lightning bolts for those 3 cards, or maybe the 1 Harrow because you can't risk it getting spell pierced. So probably two bolts and 1 Harrow probably makes the most sense. I can't see cutting a Rampant Growth, and that's probably the next worst card.
No, you can't cut a Rampant Growth.
You go to the casino and they're like, oh yeah, I've been playing poker for 30 years. Like, what's
Yeah, I think two bolts is probably enough to keep Oracle in check.
Yeah, but I also think that if he doesn't hit one of those on turn 2, he becomes a gigantic dog to Jason's deck. I mean, we saw what happened in Game 1. He had no turn 2 ramp, resolved the turn 3 Cultivate, and was still just way behind. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, on the play, I think you're much more concerned with your plan if you're Ben,
correct,
than any opposing oracles. I wouldn't even be that concerned with Bolt.
Yeah.
I mean, if he had more cards, I'd take them all. But he just doesn't have anything else to board in.
If he doesn't have Bolt and Jason has a turn 4 Oracle on the draw, and that's what wins him the game, Ben was never going to win that game anyway. So.
Right.
Yeah. I'm almost done with my 2-year degree, and I graduated high school 10 years ago.
Anytime, for Ben to win, anytime Jason would cast Oracle when he's on the draw, Ben should be able to respond with a Primeval Titan. That's the sequence of events that causes Ben to win the games. Or at least the Primeval Titan, if not, outright killing him.
Depending on if I'm going to be traveling a lot, when the overseas Pro Tours are and stuff.
Well, I'm trying to race back to class tomorrow.
Yeah. Are you in your first year of college or
sophomore?
Yes, going to the pile shuffle of the opponent's deck. A move not often seen, but Ben chooses to go for it here. He needs this game.
I remember who it was. Someone had a Facebook post like, woke up late for my first class.
Maybe he'll
so I dropped
All right,
count
you
59.
in an extra one.
Yeah, going for the count. True.
15, 60.
What are you studying?
math.
It's very good for poker and magic.
Specialty in finances and actuarial sciences, which is just statistics, basically. I was doing it, but that got real
So far,
fast.
shuffling took like 3 times as much time as
It really has. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I think you could have used one more riff.
I was gonna say at least one more pile would be good. Yeah.
the forest. I have last bird is the forest.
So Ben has looks like 4 land. What are the 3 spells?
One of them is Omen.
Looks like maybe an Omen or Rampant Growth, maybe.
I think the last one is Escape Shift. It's a business problem.
So both players keep 7 and begin with tap lands.
Not terribly surprising. So Omen with Valakut here from Ben's start. He's actually, that's a huge threat. Jason Ford's deck can't remove it from play.
Yeah, he has to Cryptic Command, bounce it. That's his answer. Yeah, that is possibly the best start. Valakut, then Forest Omen, while the opponent plays a tap land. So you came in Spell Pierce. You drew a fetch land, so that's going to be rampant. So maybe interesting. Maybe, maybe the card wasn't Omen that was in his hand.
Well, I mean, I think he wants to ramp up his mana more than he necessarily wants to cast Omen right away. I mean, resolving Omen is very important, but his opponent's going to be tapping out to play stuff as well.
Maybe, but he's boarding up the 3 mana leak, 1 Spell Pierce. I don't know.
He threatens an Oracle this turn too. Does he have Oracle in his hand? No.
No, he has a Titan, he has Escape Shift.
He has Escape Shift and Omen in his hand. Ben.
Yeah. So it's 6 land to go Escape Shift Omen, right?
Yeah. He just drew another Scape Shift, I believe. Okay, so Ben's got an Expanse. He's got another Mountain and a Verdant Catacombs. He's got 2 Scape Shift in his hand. Ben's draw is about as good as he's going to find on the play.
Yeah. It's amazing for how much Ben shuffles, how fast he plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another thing worth noting here is if you look at Jason's lands, he needs to have a grove he does have a grove.
He has a
grove.
grove.
Really, yeah, he has the grove, but normally he's a little bit. It's hard to cryptic off that mana, but he has the grove. Does he have a cryptic? I can't.
Again, this is that
see if
big
he does.
turn where if Jason's going to land something proactive like a Jace or an Oracle, it has to be
he
now.
has to do it now,
Because
he
the next
can't-
turn he has to be able to defend himself from Primeval Titan.
Yeah.
Well, and also, I mean, even if you play it this turn, he could die to explore Scape Shift if Ben were to draw
And
explore.
he's just passing.
So he's representing Cryptic Command. Should Ben play a spell like Oracle, he could bounce the Omen, and then be somewhat back to be back to square one. I think he's
Does Jason have a click in his hand? 'Cause that's a card that also.
Click is good here, I think, but he has to get that Omen off the board, right? He
Right.
can't. So I think he's looking to counter something in Cryptic. Okay, so
there's
he
a
is going to
click.
click.
So
Scape Shift Titan, land.
I don't.
I guess he doesn't have the crypto then.
Well, I believe he has a cryptic in his hand, but
Well, because maybe he figures.
if for instance Ben plays the 5th land, then next turn just plays the land and tries to Escape Shift. If he bounces Omen, then it's not lethal. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it makes sense to click here because this is the only turn. This is the last turn you can tap out for it.
Yeah. He has to get that now. And I don't know if he actually takes anything.
And also Ben. So Ben has a 4-outer here to kill him with Explore, no matter which card he takes, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's already drawn.
He's got 4 out. No,
He's
but
already
the
drawn,
click.
but-
He draws from the click.
But he's letting him keep his hand.
Oh, he's
which I
letting
think
him
is
keep
correct.
it. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you have to let him keep that hand. You don't want to give him possibility of drawing to Explore.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean,
Now you have complete information, which in this situation is actually very important.
You quasi time walk him this turn because he literally can't do
You
anything.
can't cast a spell.
Yeah.
You could give him a ramp spell, and then you're in a much worse position.
yeah. If Jason's hand can deal with all the threats, then yeah, it makes sense.
Escape
Is he just going to Escape Shift to get more Valakuts?
Oh, and then play a fetch land.
Well, he's played a land.
Yeah, he's played a land. Okay. Wait, so then did he not have 2 green?
Well, it wouldn't matter anyway. This
No,
turn.
but why play the land before you Escape Shift away for 3 Valakut?
Well, it doesn't matter.
You still need 5 of
It'll
them.
only be 5
Oh,
total
okay.
lands.
Yeah,
It won't
that's
be-
right,
it's the 6th land that matters.
Yeah.
So next turn he'll play a fetch land, deal 12, sack. So okay, so he's threatening lethal just with a fetch land next turn.
Yeah, that seems right. Go get 3 Valakut, and then even if he bounces it, you still have a green mana to replay Prismatic Omen. That's correct.
Yeah, so what can Jason do here? He can't Cryptic Command the Omen before Ben's main phase, because then he'll just recast it, play it land. So is he just drawing dead from this spot? Tectonic Edge is a possibility, right?
Well, Tectonic Edge would be an amazing card.
Tectonic Edge, how many does
He
he have?
can actually Cryptic Command a land, because then won't have enough land. If he Cryptic Command bounce a
Right.
land, it actually...
Then Ben would have to draw some kind of ramp spell, of which he has many, but he might not.
I think if you had the Cryptic, you would have just not played
I'm
the
pretty
click.
sure he has Cryptic in his hand.
But
I'm pretty sure I saw Cryptic in his
Why
hand.
would you just play the click then?
Well, I mean, is he just going to sit there and just let...
You can play it in a turn. It doesn't change anything.
I guess.
Oh, that's smart. I didn't think
Ooh,
of
and gets
that.
a fetch land.
It's a good thing it's not the old days, by the way,
yeah.
because he put his Escape Shift in the graveyard immediately, and it could have been ruled that he resolved the spell and it was just go with 1 land out.
Sorry, buddy.
Good thing it's not 98.
So if Jason has Cryptic, he's gonna have to bounce a land.
Well, if he... Let's see...
Tectonic Edge is
Tectonic Edge is awesome here because it keeps Ben off of the key number of land for Valakut to be dangerous. Pondering how in the world am I going to beat 4 Valakut?
I think that's a Cryptic Command. I think it was the 3rd card back.
So if he Cryptic bounces the Valakut and passes.
I think one of the 3 cards was Tectonic Edge too.
Was it? Well, then he's certainly keeping them on top.
Now he's playing Land Destruction.
I mean, it's very interesting because from
Okay, so it
did he
was-
just,
I know you
wow.
manually. Yeah.
Yeah,
He didn't have either.
I don't think there was an edge, and if he had Cryptic, he might not have had the 4th land. That lets him cast Cryptic.
Yeah. Well, he has. Yeah. He would have to have a green or blue source.
A green or
He
blue
had
source that comes with land tap. I'm not sure he had
Flooding
it.
Rebuff.
Well, you couldn't take them both.
So it's also
did-
rare. Jason's gonna be
Did
able
he,
to play.
did he not have a land? He may just not have seen the play of Bounce of Valakut.
Alright.
Like
Well, he probably just needed to get something going to have a chance to win after he bounces the land.
right. I mean, like he's in an awful spot, obviously. But I mean,
He needs multiple things to go right for him to win the game.
Oh, and
So-
Martin's right. No, because if you ponder and keep, you know what you're going to draw the next turn. So he might have just been drawing dead after the bounce of land. Also, that's
Shuffle,
possible.
should have shuffled,
that's
but,
possible.
He should have shuffled.
yeah,
Tried to
he
hit
can shuffle,
perfect.
he can shuffle
Yeah.
in perfect.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, he was a huge dog, obviously, but it seemed like a little early.
Well, and if he didn't have a land that makes a blue or a green, he was actually just couldn't do anything. So.
Yeah. If he didn't have.
No, it can't make a green even because he already had a forest untapped.
Oh, did he?
So if he has forest,
Oh, so he has to have
forest,
untapped blue. Okay. Yeah. He had 4. Yeah, you're right. He had to have an
he had
untapped
like
blue
forest,
source.
mountain, grove. So yeah, he would have had to have untapped blue source and a Cryptic
now I'm
Command. So he
level
must not
4
have found it.
So that play that Ben made there is a play that I think very few players actually make. They think of Scapeshift as their kill card. They don't think of Scapeshift as a card that allows them to create a board state like that. So this is definitely a deck that while we've talked about it has expensive spells that you need certain game states to be able to win with. I mean that's a position where because he knows Jason Hood cannot kill Prismatic Omen, he can safely just present lethal next turn.
So what about for the ponder? Okay, so he didn't hit anything he needed, right? What about shuffle, draw Tectonic Edge?
Right, that's
Yeah,
what
well,
we
he
were
should
saying.
he should have definitely drawn his card.
Same thing. I queued for all 3 pieces.
And it had to be exactly Tectonic Edge.
It's
Tectonic Edge probably followed by a sequence of perfect cards as well.
Yeah, I mean it is unlikely he's going to win from that position.
So I went to a couple GPs to get the point to give me the level 4 for the rest of the year. But I mean, last year I finished with 31. I didn't know what point I got in the
Let's hope no one mulligans.
Oh man.
I crushed the limited.
I'd like to be able to make it to dinner tonight.
I didn't catch a
I mean, this tournament's actually been run very efficiently. We were out of here by 9 o'clock last night. We're here in the finals. It's only 7 o'clock. So I mean, this is the tournament's been run very smoothly, and it's really just Ben shuffling that's holding all.
And then the Worlds, I played an Infinite Type 2, and I went 4.
I heard a rumor that if there is a mulligan, Ben shuffles twice as long as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, gotta work out the kinks from that door.
Yeah, exactly.
Why does he follow shuffle though? It takes so
wasn't too
much
bad
time.
before,
And
too.
like meanwhile, you can riffle shuffle.
Well, I mean, like, if you
13 times.
like, I always pile shuffle once to make sure I have a 60 card deck,
Right.
and then I do a bunch of riffles.
I don't know.
So
And riffling 2-3 times does more for randomization than a pile shuffle does anyway.
right.
But obviously, maybe you could have done a whole different line of plays or whatever.
Something to think about on my long plane ride home.
One interesting note is that whoever wins this game will be the leader in the Player of the Year round. So last year's kickoff leader Matt Nass
I go to the university.
didn't quite take advantage of his 10-point lead, but I could see either of these players making a serious run to make use of those points.
Ben has indicated a willingness to travel for Grand Prix as well. So.
We were saying earlier, last year Ben traveled to every Asian Grand Prix.
Right.
A number of European Grand Prix. Granted, he was searching for a point to qualify. He wasn't like, in the hunt for Player of the Year. He was just like, I really want to get that point so I can play in the Pro Tour. But he ended up finishing out the year very well.
He had like 32 points or something.
Yeah, I mean he early in the year he was scraping away to try and get the points to qualify. Toward the end of the year, multiple Grand Prix top 8s, and he was very comfortably level 6.
He's done extremely well in the Grand Prix.
And previously, in his former life, back it's interesting. Ben Stark and I actually stopped playing at the same time. He was doing very, very well, stopped playing, came back, and we actually both started playing at the same time. And he's put up a lot of good results since then. So.
He's gonna have to win a Pro Tour first.
Really, they are.
It's even, for a moto grinder like Martin, it's even more offensive. You know what I mean? The idea that shuffling could take so long.
Because when you click mulligan, it's actually probably why Martin mulligans so much more than everyone else, is because it just takes a click of a button.
Yeah.
You're just like, would you like to mulligan? Yes.
And Jason's got an all-foil deck, and Ben's just riffling it like a...
Also, could you imagine trying to 4-table and you start 2 games at the same time, and you're playing 4 moto tournaments and trying to shuffle 2 decks at the same time? Wouldn't work.
So, Jason Ford lays out his hand, peeks at each one in turn, then looks at it all together.
I'm good.
I see a Jace. I see... Oh, he kept already.
Preordained or 2.
Ben Stark does not look happy.
Yeah, that was a grimace there.
That's,
He's a poker player.
I was gonna say, for someone who plays poker, that's a pretty obvious mulligan.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually one interesting thing about Ben. He is a fantastic player, and he understands the importance of things like tells in the game, and yet he actually is very often just no, please don't mulligan. Ever to the chat. Oh my God, he's shuffling again. But Ben Stark is often very very frank with his opponents about he's like, oh well, if you have this, he'll often almost walk his opponents through their turns. He's just like, come on, can we get through this game? I want to shuffle some more.
Yeah.
I was like, I have 6 turns probably to
It's all
hit
business when
before.
it comes to shuffling.
That's true. Is this 7 pile? Is that what it is?
Someone needs to tell Ben that.
Well, I mean,
Either that or
doesn't get him anywhere.
Either that or he needs to take lessons from the Japanese players who 7 pile in like a split second. We're just you actually expect to have an auto shuffler built into their arms or something.
Yeah. In the last match I played...
Ben shuffled his deck right back into the original order.
I was on to play game 1, turn 5, and then I was going to draw.
What are the chances?
Plenty of time.
6 piles of 6 times.
Yeah,
Back
exactly.
to it, poker, then start riffling.
Yeah. He looks at his opening hand, 4 prismatic omen.
All right, we have a presented deck. Now, Jason Ford, I think it's randomized. You don't have to shuffle too much, man.
I hope Jason starts piling it at this point.
I hope he starts piling it and then just gives it back.
You never
Just
know.
like, just kidding.
You never know how many times you're going to make the finals of a Grand Prix. You got to milk that moment,
I hope Ben draws a perfect hand, because
All right, Ben's hand this time.
Valakut Mountain, Colony Heart.
Snap key.
Snaps without hesitation.
And Halimar Depths. All right, let's see if we can get a look at Jason's hand.
I think Jason's got at least 1 preordained in hand, 1 on top.
did he keep a 1-lander of preordained?
No.
Oh, no,
He's got
he's
2
a forest.
preordained, a 4.
Does he have? Oh, there's a Rampant Growth that he was able to get. So that's.
So if he doesn't like the top 2 cards, he'll use the Rampant Growth for sure.
Well, I mean.
But
Yeah,
he has preordained.
he has Jace too, so I mean I think he wants the Rampant Growth
You
here.
would have
Even-
to love the top 2 cards enough.
Oh,
Wow.
no,
Oh,
are you
wow.
sure he has Jace?
I thought I was pretty sure I saw Jace in his hand.
Maybe he has no green mana?
He
had a Mystery
He had it, yeah.
Wow.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one.
Does he have a leak that he's trying to set
No,
up?
I meant just
Maybe.
playing period.
Ben really needs
He
to
could
get.
have Spell Pierce. He could have Mana Leak.
Ben really
Just
needs
trying
to
to
get-
stop Ben's acceleration.
Ben really needs to get to get more lands. So
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
Ben draws a Cultivate. So is Ben's hand just the Valakut and spells?
No, he's got at least a mountain,
Okay.
and he's thinking, so it can't. He might have. I think he has a Colony Heart Expedition.
Yeah,
she
Colony.
does, that's it.
Oh, yeah, it's getting Mana Leaks. Okay,
Yeah.
that definitely explains the play. I didn't see the Mana Leak in his hand before. So it's interesting. The fact that he actually did play Scalding Tarn doesn't give away the information, because if he played Misty Rainforest in past, it's pretty obvious his mana leak.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it's also pretty obvious he has green mana because he kept the hand in Halimar Depths, but
No,
it's very likely he has green mana. But it's much less representation of, hey, look, I have mana leak if he's not playing a green accelerator on turn 2
Right.
when he actually has green mana. So.
Any merit to Ben not playing that expedition that turn, or not?
Like the fact that Jason spent some time before playing blind and passing the turn.
I think it's possible that he might want to do that.
yeah.
So
Ben,
Ben,
he did think about it. He has a battle cube that he can just play tapped.
right, and then he can start cultivating. Now he has to draw an untapped land to be able to
I
cultivate.
get so many templates per tournament.
But maybe he's thinking, you know what? If I'm not going to ramp now, what am I going to do next turn?
Right.
So you think, a ramp now gets countered. Next turn I cultivate. You can't
Well, he
just.
can't cultivate. He has to draw an untapped land.
No, he has one. I think he has a Verdant Catacombs in his hand. I could be
So,
wrong.
and there's rampant growth.
Does he have a spell pierce too?
Oh God, I
If he had a spell pierce, that would just be gross.
Yeah.
The one, he has one in the deck.
Yeah, he has one that comes in from the sideboard.
Next, you're gonna tell me he's gonna Oracle and flip over his one Tectonic Edge,
The more I like
I
it.
would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Again.
That's all they are, like really good limited decks, right?
Yeah.
So Ben's probably just going to untap cultivate. What was in Ben's hand as a follow up to that? Did you see?
I mean, he had cultivates. I saw cultivates and titans. That's what I know he has.
Played against one deck.
So, all right. Preordain.
Talismans and artifact lands for Furnace Dragons. This is all main deck.
He really needs to find a way to cultivate this turn.
Jason Ford actually also has a dispel in his. Oh, he drew a tap land.
But he has an
Oh,
omen to come down, I think.
Okay, I mean that matters.
Yeah.
Omen Valakut. I mean, he's definitely threatening with those scape shifts. He can definitely do some serious damage.
It's an Explorer, I believe.
Preordain. We're digging. One top, one bottom. See another explore.
And he
Does
just,
this spell counter anything?
This spell counters Nature's Claim, which is actually a big deal. It
Oh,
lets,
yeah,
it
yeah,
lets
yeah.
him, just Omen Scape
yeah.
Shift and kill
Yeah, because
with backup
pretty
for only one mana, which is pretty significant.
we ramped.
And if he
but
happens to
in this spot, it happens to not be a very good counter.
right,
spell.
oh here it's
doesn't have-
definitely
doesn't-
not what he wants.
And he doesn't have a Cryptic Command, so he's actually pretty light in hand.
Yeah, what does he
Yeah,
have?
what, it looks like he has
He has Dispel, Escape Shift?
I think he has escape shift.
Cultivate Resolves.
But again, Scape Shift doesn't do anything yet, right?
That dispel is.
Cultivate Resolve, so certainly he doesn't have mana leak. He played the last turn so fast that you can't really put him on Cryptic Command, right? I mean, he was just playing it. He wasn't even thinking, so he just.
Yeah.
I think if you're Ben, you put him on 0 counters here, and just go for the best thing you got. I think it's important when you're playing any kind of blue deck, just take time on your turn. When you've got 3 blue and a green, think for a little bit, then maybe preordain. I mean, you just played that turn so fast.
So Ben's actually threatening lethal next turn.
Was it?
He has Omen. He has Scape Shift in hand. So Jason Ford.
Has a escape shift. Dispel. And
Does he
does he have
have-
the omen too?
I mean, if he has Scape Shift Omen, the game's over.
Well,
He
Ben
wouldn't
can
slow
play
roll
the
it.
nature's claim, so he's.
Oh, Ben can.
He needs,
Oh, yeah,
He needs
wow.
an untapped land too to be played.
Well, to play it safely, does
play
Ben have
the
Nature
spell.
Claim in his hand?
Only one land per person in there.
Well,
So-
should Jason risk it?
Well, I mean, to be like, if
Yeah,
Jason,
like-
if Jason doesn't have
Yeah.
a counter, he's dead to
Yeah,
Scape Shift.
if Jason's hand is,
So,
is only those two
If he
cards,
if he
you
has
certainly go
exactly
for it.
those cards, I mean, like he definitely needs to attempt.
But then is Ben gonna play escape shift when he knows that he can just let him put the cleanse into play and then bounce the
Oh, he's
omen?
just casting Scape Shift
He's
with
just
no
gonna
Omen.
value Scape Shift here.
What's going on?
He's gonna get Halimar Depths, I believe, to try to get some business.
Oh, he might be getting edges.
He's gonna get edges.
Yeah,
Oh,
Edge.
yeah.
He's gonna get Halimar Depths, Tectonic Edge.
That's interesting.
Does he have another Scape Shift in his hand?
I believe so.
Okay. So
But I think he's actually dead. I think. I mean, Ben, I believe, has the Scape Shift in his hand,
Yeah.
and I don't think Jason Ford has
This is
a
just,
mana
this is-
leak.
yeah, this is all just setting up next turn.
So I mean,
we can Tech Edge him twice, can he?
well, no, but Tekken's coming to play tap.
That's
with
next
Scape
turn.
Shift.
Oh yeah.
So-
So that dispel is looking a little awkward right now. I wonder what he took out for it. There definitely is the scenario where it's very important.
Well, yeah, and
I would
and
still bring it in.
No,
Probably.
I wouldn't. There's no
Maybe.
dead cards in the list. If you look at the list,
Right,
he has to bring out business. He's got to bring.
Yeah.
He has to be taking out all 3 oracles. We haven't seen one, and he's bringing in Dispel. He's going at least 6 cards deep into his board.
Yeah,
It just doesn't seem right.
so he's getting.
And of course, from before, we, I guess, assumed that Ben probably has a read on Jason that he has no counter magic, so he's not going to fear Mana Leak here, probably.
Well, Jason didn't. He hasn't really had an opportunity to. Well, I guess
No,
last-
the cultivate. He definitely
he-
managed
he-
to
he
cultivate. When he's
wouldn't
got
have-
Valakut
You're right.
element out.
You're right. Yeah.
If he had,
I mean, I think
he-
Ben just kills him on his turn.
Yeah, I think unless you drew Mana, like you can't have it. It looks like there might be an Omen in the top of the deck, so if Ben doesn't have that Scape Shift,
I'm pretty sure I saw it in his hand.
Titan is enough too.
Yeah, Titan
Titan does
kills
it.
him too, doesn't he?
Mhm.
You just Titan for Valakut. You get.
Infinite damage.
You do 18, right? No, is it 8? It's, you
Jason-
get
Jason's-
3 triggers for 3, or 2 triggers for 3.
you get 2 triggers for 9, which is 18. So,
So
and
yeah,
Jason's
Jason at 18.
so.
Yeah, either of those cards is lethal. So
He
if
drew
it-
Colony Heart Expedition.
so if Jason does not have Mana Leak, and I don't believe he does, I think he's just dead on this turn. And Ben can just go for it. It's not like. Is he casting Colony Heart? What? Is he playing Colony Heart and then Scape
He
Shift?
might not have this.
this just plays into Spell Pierce, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't. What's Ben doing?
Okay, so he goes fetch land 3 to you.
Okay.
He's got 6 more damage on board, but that's not enough. Cultivate.
Cultivate.
Wow, so he doesn't have the kill.
Did he?
He's just playing around mentally. He doesn't think he has it.
See, that's the situation we were talking about before the match. Is that
Well,
Oh, no. Oh,
he
he's got
has-
does he have lethal? 15, 12, fetch again, 9, Colony Heart, 6. I think you can only bring him to. No, I think he's short.
Who knows these things?
Because he was at 18. He's played a land,
Lane step,
and
lanes
he's,
go-
and he's
go-
cultivated for a
yeah.
land. So Jason is at 12. Now you go fetch. You're at 9. Colony Heart, you're at 3. So it's actually 3 short of being lethal.
So yeah, if Jason,
So if Jason has the kill, he's gonna win the game.
Yeah, if Jason
Ben
has
needs one more turn.
right, if Jason has Omen Scape Shift, he's gonna win.
See, with step links, regardless of whether or not they block, you usually just sack your fetch land and make it a 4/5. So
Shouldn't he?
I don't.
Yeah. He has the edge, so he should use all the lands and expeditions that you have to put him at 3 and then hope to draw lightning bolt if he doesn't have anything. Because he's going to be able to destroy the Valakut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just showed. Alright,
I mean, didn't Ben have
the
Titan?
Omen's on top of my deck. I don't want to like.
he's showing him the kill right now that he
Yeah,
has
yeah, of course.
Escape Shift plus an Omen on top, right?
Did Ben not have a land to play his Titan? He played a land.
No,
Well, maybe, I guess he doesn't have the kill.
What's in his hand? Are we sure he has Titan Escape Shift?
There,
He's enough lands. Yeah.
there it is.
Jason
Wow.
gets it.
Jason Ford wins.
So what was in Ben's hand? That's what we need to find out.
Gotta have a forest left. He has a forest left in his
Yeah,
deck
you
to
have to show
show.
him to hit the forest.
Somehow you
But
must
first, then checks if he has a forest or not.
Yeah, there it is. And Jason
Well, I
Ford
didn't
wins.
really have a green
I'm really curious. Could Ben?
What
just
was in
have-
Ben's hand? I think it was 3 land.
Did he have?
It looked like it might have
he had
been
just
3.
cultivated, so there was an extra land. Wow, that was
Yeah, I don't think Ben had Escape Shift.
that was a crazy game. I was almost sure I saw Titan in his hand, but. So Jason Ford is the 2011 Grand Prix Atlanta champion, the leader in the Player of the Year race for 2011.
Congratulations.
Ben Stark
Play the Mist
in
before,
second
doing
place.
the Dutch thing, but we just got there anyhow. It just didn't matter.
Is there a Grand Prix next weekend before
CP
Paris?
There is not. There's going to be at Paris.
I like forgot that the land's coming to
So
play.
do you think he had the Scare Shift or the Titan?
No.
I was almost certain that I saw Titan in his hand.
Yeah, me too.
One bolt short.
I thought he had land Titan. I don't know.
No,
I mean,
it doesn't make any sense to not play Titan there because what's the downside? Kill him next turn anyways.
I agree.
Next turn, he can play on mentally.
No, but next turn he's dead just from the lands, right? Like just from what he did that turn is gonna kill him next turn. So
Yeah.
so you're not playing on
it's a
anything
good
if he had the
start of
Titan.
the year.
You play the Titan, he gets leaked. Next turn he got him to 3
Next
that
turn
turn.
you'd still kill him.
Yeah, he had lethal.
I think.
Well, he kills his Valakut, but he can still play the
Oh,
Titan.
because
Oh,
the Titan,
that's right.
yeah.
So I guess this way, Mana Leak, you lose to Mana Leak, but you beat him nutting you next turn.
And like if I attack the other wilds, like
I guess maybe also he felt like because he scape shifted, it was unlikely for him with one card in his hand to have scape shift and Omen. You know, the next turn.
Well, he had two cards, but yeah, it's certainly unlikely that he has Omen because he would have killed him.
Right.
Well, yeah, only does he have.
But it's very likely he has another scape shift.
And he's
just
just used the depths.
Yeah.
Let's say you have the Titan or the Scape Shift. Do you play the Scape Shift or do you go for this where you put him on 3?
Well, I think
Next turn you can play around Mana Leak and you give yourself more outs by drawing bolts.
But we're sure he doesn't have Mana Leak at that point in the game.
I think you
the cultivate resolved right away.
Yeah.
That turn when Ben has 3 lands, an Omen, and a Valkyrie.
No, Jason had 3 lands.
Jason had 3 lands
He
in
had
tap.
land
And cultivate resolved right away.
Yeah.
So how could he have Mana Leak? I mean, you certainly Mana Leak when your opponent has Omen and Valkyrie in 2 lands. That's an easy Mana Leak.
We're operating under the assumption.
He had 3 untapped lands? No way.
I'm pretty sure he had Leak Mana open.
He had 3 untapped
Yeah.
lands, yeah.
So I think if I was Ben, I would have just said, okay, if you have the Mana Leak, you just drew it, and therefore I'm going to play my Titan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, we're gonna bring in the champ.
I wonder what that's like winning a tournament.
Anyone wants to jab?
Only if I get some euros on my
All
team.
right,
No more
so-
Americans.
Yeah, at that point, even if he cryptics it back to your hand.
Jason Ford joining us here with his with the trophy. Congratulations, sir.
Appreciate it, but online.
Ray. Good job. That go down or?
Yeah, yeah, we
Is that
covered it
where-
all.
Oh, okay. So congratulations. So yeah, that was a pretty crazy game, that last one. Yeah.
Probably should have tightened up a little bit for the finals.
So we were trying to figure out in game 1 why you didn't kill him. The turn you could have killed him, I thought.
I have no idea. Could be true. You could be right.
Well, the turn that you passed with 2 mana up, you had a Rampant Growth in your hand, and it looked like you actually could just fetch, play Rampant Growth, and
kill him?
kill him.
You're probably right. Literally,